Logic gates and Boolean algebra go hand in hand, and as you're going through your studies of ones and zeros, it feels like you're learning a new realm of algebra. And that is true to a certain extent. We're doing logics. And one important tool to be able to solve a lot of these things is De Morgan's theorem. Let me show you what that is. De Morgan's theorem has two parts. The first one, the complement of two ANDed variables is equivalent to the OR of the complements of the individual variables. What does that mean? That means that if we get an x and y input, whatever it is for us, we AND them, and then we put the bar on top of them, basically a NAND gate, the answer, or the truth table to it, would be the exact same if we grabbed an OR logic gate, but we knotted the two inputs, we complemented the two inputs beforehand, i.e. x bar plus y bar. The variable is our input, 1 or 0, but it's the wire that's connecting to it. Is it going to be 1? Is it going to be 0? Where does the wire go? The wire itself is the variable. The complement is the inverse of it. So if I said that the variable is 0, the complement of it is 1. So to redraw the logic table, if our x, y inputs 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, our outputs are going to be the exact same for x and y with a bar on top of it. It would be the same as x bar or y bar, the individual variables complemented. So what if I said that? And so what if De Morgan said that? Is it actually true? Here I'm going to show you experimental proof that De Morgan is right. Ignore this part here for now. We're just looking at this gate here. This is a NAND gate. All the chips look the same and there's several NAND gates in here. Here's a schematic diagram. Let's start by putting in a 0, 0 input. I've connected the two inputs to ground and the LED is on. We have a high. Switch one of the inputs to a high. We still have a high. But if I put in both inputs as high, the LED does not shine. We have a low. Our truth table then is 1, 1, 1, 0. For the second one, we have two sets of logic gates. The reason there are two gates is because I don't own a negative OR gate. So instead, I have an OR and a NOT. So what we're going to do is we're going to NOT our two inputs, i.e. inverse them, then put them afterwards into an OR gate. Let's change both of our inputs to high. Our LED is on. Let's put both of our inputs into low, 0, 0. Our output is high. Switch one of them to a high and a low. We still have a high, but when both of them are to high, our LED turns off. This is the exact same logic gate as a NAND gate. De Morgan's first theorem must be true. De Morgan's second statement is very similar, just slightly different. Two variables, x and y, if you OR them and you grab their total and put a complement over it, it is equal to the individual variable complemented and you AND them. So our input, x, y, we're ORing them, but the bar is over the whole summation, so our NOT is at the end of the gate, is equivalent to the two individual variables complemented. So here we go. We have the two dots to represent their complements. Then you AND them. There's our AND gate. The truth table, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. If we change our inputs to highs and lows, will give us a high on 0, 0 and a low for everything else. Now, when you're going to be given a problem with many variables, A, B, C's, and D's, how does De Morgan help you solve your problem? So I have two mathematical problems I'm going to show you, but I have an analogy or a trick to remind you how to do it. De Morgan basically says, chop the line, change the sign. So let's take x and y. There's a bar on top of them over both of those. Chop the bar, slice it in half, and then change the sign between them. There's a dot in between x and y, change it to a plus sign, and the two lines are split. X and y, the bar is over the total sum. Quite literally, chop that bar, so you have two individual variable complements, and then change the sign from a plus to a dot. Let me show you this mathematically. Let's do a very short example of De Morgan's theorem. We have a full bar, and under that bar is in brackets a bar plus b in brackets plus cd. Deal with the biggest bar first. This is our big bar here, and the action that we're performing is an OR in between these two lumps. Treat this as the x and treat this as the y. So chop the bar and change the sign. Change that to a dot. So this is our x with a bar on top of it, dot CD, our y, with the bar on top of it. We're going to do it 2 more times. Treat this as one summation and treat this as one summation. So in this case, a bar plus b, chop the line, change the sign. In this case, we get a bar bar dot b bar in brackets. And in this guy, we chop the line again and change the sign. We change the dot to a plus. One of the rules of Boolean algebra is that a double bar is just equal to the variable by itself. How is that true? Well, let's take a and we give it a 0. We complement it. It becomes a 1. Complement it again, it becomes a 0 again. So a bar bar is the exact same thing as just a on its own in Boolean algebra. Is there any more lines to chop? There isn't. All of the variables have their individual little hats on top of their heads, their complements. We just had to get rid of the double bar, and this is our final expression. Here I have a really, really long solution. What I recommend, I know you've seen some of it, is just take down this first one and for yourself, try it out first. I know you can see some of the answers now. Don't look at it too much. Write the first line and try it out for yourself. Always go for the bigger bar first, the biggest hat on its head. In this case, this is the biggest hat. Chop the bar, change the sign. We've chopped the bar and it becomes a plus sign. 2 sets of De Morgan's theorems to work with. Chop the line, change the sign, it becomes dot. We have a double bar going over B and C, but remember, double complement is the same thing as the variable by itself. We chop this line, it changes from a plus to a dot, but don't forget to keep the hats on. Something that I notice myself as a lecturer who corrects all of these is that students just tend to forget, oh, I forgot to leave the hat on. Slowly, take a deep breath. Even though this is very structured and simple mathematics, this is where mistakes happen. So let's deal with this guy. E and F are our x and y, are 2 variables. They have a total hat on top of them. You chop that line and you change the sign, so you're going to have a plus in between them. Just don't forget that the F also had a complement on top of it. So it has a double hat, we get rid of it, and it's by itself here. The last step is optional. This is basically me multiplying it all out. You can keep the A, B, and C together, but I multiplied the D across E and F. Basically, when you're going to be building this circuit, this is probably easier to visualize and understand what you're doing. All of this is true via Boolean algebra laws. And that, labrats and labradoodles, is De Morgan's theorem. Once you study your Boolean algebra laws and pair it up with De Morgan's theorem, you can pretty much solve any circuit logic gate problem. I'll probably eat my words there a little bit. Happy logic gating.